Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.
And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben here for the Fuck It, It's Friday show. And I have one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, Edward. What's going on?
Good morning, Ben. That was so nice of you. And actually, you're one of my favorites, too.
So the reason I wanted to have you on the show today is you are one of the most action-oriented people I've ever met. You have an idea, or you have a cause, or if you have something weighing on your heart, you are an action guy. You'll actually go out there and you will work your ass off to repair or increase whatever you are working on. Now, you are running for City Hall, or what exactly?
City Council, Ward 5.
Exactly, Ward 5, up in Leominster, Massachusetts, which is where our club's at up there. One of the questions I have let's explain who you are and how you got into the Bitcoin and how you now run our club up in Massachusetts.
Oh my. Well, certainly you're the reason why I got into Bitcoin. I found you that long time ago on the X22 show. So I don't want to bore everybody with that story of, flying down to Sarasota and of course, the rest is history. But let's talk about the progression of that meeting, of what you've impacted on me, not just in Bitcoin, but gave me the balls to. I've always been a guy who would do something, whether I knew what I was getting into, I would figure it out along the way. That's me. I'm kind of like ADHD. Boom. I love it. I got to do it. Well, you just accelerated that in me, because to do what I'm doing now, to get out in our community. And the reason getting out in the community now is because Bitcoin is the underlying reason of pushing the progressives out of the picture that have been stealing from us forever. And without us, the Bitcoin community, all of us speaking out about the tyranny that they've done to us, I think once we can project that out and have people start really understanding money the way money should be, that light is going to go off at a certain time for someone that is different than. In other words, it doesn't happen at the same time for everybody. It's like becoming a born again Christian. It just didn't happen to come this way, right?
Yeah.
You don't force your Christianity on anybody. It just happens one day, and you say, you know what? There's something bigger than me, and then you move towards that. So that's what's happening. You've brought that out in me to make a difference, and that's what I want to do. So before backstage, I thanked you, and I'm thanking you again, because truly, this is the reason, and it's bigger than me. And I'm telling you, I don't have a PhD, I don't have a master's. I'm just a regular Joe right here, trying to make a difference. And I got passion to do it.
Yeah, and what I love on what you're doing is you're looking local. You're like, all right, I live here, I grew up here, I went to high school here, and I have never met anyone who knows as many people in their hometown as you. Every single time I'm up there, hey Eddie, how's it? Hey Eddie. And so everyone knows you, and you have great relationships with so many people up there. And I love that you looked at it and said, you know what? Not only am I here to actually teach and preach on free, on learning what money is and all of that, I think I'm going to throw my hat in, and I'm going to help reclaim freedom in our town. And so explain, at what point did you realize, you know what, hell with it, I'm going to throw my hat in?
Yeah, it's interesting. I had, of course, Dave Giovanni, who you met, who is now a founding member, venture capital guy now. He's all in, which is really awesome. I took him to Vegas with me, paid for his whole stay in there. And I just knew if he's an entrepreneur himself. And I knew if he just, he's been a member here since the beginning. And I just knew once he understood what we were doing, it would click for him too. And it has. But he's the one that said, Ed, you ought to run for city council or something. You get involved. And of course, we had a city councilor, Peter Angelini, which I know Peter Angelini, pass away. So the seat came up. And then the person who lost to Peter Angelini, they snuck her right in, and she's very liberal. City council is supposed to be nonpartisan, but believe me, it's not. Behind people are fighting. They're fighting to take over. So then Mary Lotz, when I had you up here and Heidi to speak at the Central Mass Conservative PAC to give a little Bitcoin 101, Mary thought might be a good idea if I run too. And I'm like, whoa, that's two people. Why are they asking me? Well, they know I got a big mouth, right? And I'm not afraid to talk. So I went to my wife. I said, Cindy, and this is months ago. And I went to Cindy. I said, you know what, Cindy? I said, I've had a couple of people ask me to run for city council. I says, but I'm not going to do it unless I get your blessing. And I meant it, because I knew it was going to take time away in my evenings, because the city council meetings are in the evening. They're not during the day. Hey, you take your time out of your work schedule, meaning you're working, but after work, you're going to a meeting, twice a month. So I was like, okay, I'm at the club here a lot. I love being here. And now I'm going to be sacrificing another 2 evenings, and it could be a little more. So I was like, okay. I told her, and she goes, that could be a lot of time away from home. I said, I know. I said, again, it's all up to you. So several months went by. And all of a sudden, Cindy goes to me on a Sunday night, Ed, are you still considering running for city council? And I'm like, what? I said, you're asking me now? And I'm thinking in my head, this is like the last minute. I didn't tell her.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, I says, does this mean you're giving me your blessing to run? And she goes, yes, I'm giving you my blessing. I'm like, I'm in. The next morning, I filed my nominations papers. I was there before 8:30, and here we are, and I'm finding out. As much as I'm excited, I'm seeing the dark side of this town. I say the dark side because we are fighting good and evil. There's no other way of putting it. And if people don't see that, I'm sorry, but that's what we're fighting. That's what we're fighting. So that's why I'm in it.
Yeah, and you and I were actually talking a little earlier, and you were explaining that the liberals and they're not just liberals, they are progressives. They know their goal. They know what they're trying to do. They are literally trying to shift America away from freedom into communism. That's their goal.
No doubt about it.
And could you explain what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what now that you're in the race, you're really kind of seeing all of the evil of all of it?
Yeah, it's getting ugly. You can see people putting posts talking about me. Oh, the Bitcoin guy. Yeah, he's bought and paid for. We don't want that kind of thing in town. And it's like, are you kidding me? Here's a guy trying to save this town. But so you can see that side, how they twist everything around. None of these people making these comments have ever came in to say, who is Ed Albert? Let me go meet Ed Albert. Let me find out who he really is. Oh no, they don't want to go there because they're gonna find out it's a different story, and that's gonna ruin their story. So, they say politics is dirty. That's for sure. I was told, and I won't tell you who, but a very good friend of mine. Her name's Tara. She told me. She goes, Ed, beware. Put the armor of God on, because they're going to not only attack you, they're going to attack your wife, your family, everybody. And I'm starting to see it. And I'm even though I was warned, I'm still shocked at the level. It's pure evil. So we need more of me.
Yes.
More of me. I'm just one guy. So I'm hoping that I can rub off on someone else, right? Because you rubbed off on me, maybe I can rub off on somebody. We have a mission, right? I want to make this the richest little town in the country, because right
That's
now,
my
probably, because even though there's a $25 million surplus that we have, from what I found out, the progressives want to come in here and get rid of it. They want to spend it. They want to get rid of it. They want to be able to pay for all the illegals. This is major. You got Maura Healey, which is crazy, governor. They're giving illegals $30,000 to get their life little started here in town, and then they're paying them food stamps, and then they're giving them a monthly allowance. It's crazy. And then we have veterans, and we have homeless people here in this town that we can't even help. But we're it's unbelievable. Yeah.
And that's exactly what we see everywhere. Is the liberals, the progressives, they actually place the new illegal immigrants in front of the U.S. people. And there's a reason that they're doing that, because they want to replace people like you. Well, Ed, he loves freedom. He loves God. We can't really alter him. But if we bring in new people, eventually all of the Eds will eventually die off. And voila, we have a brainless, absolutely controllable group who will continuously vote for us.
No doubt. No doubt. You know, we have a couple of great events coming up here. We have Turning Point USA coming in here on the 10th, which is going to be a Wednesday. So we're actually going to probably blow this town's mind. We're doing it actually by invitation. We're sending out a link because we don't want to have people sitting in the street out here blocking traffic. Because,
yeah.
I mean, so, but I'm hoping to fill this place. And then we have a meet and greet for me on Saturday, the 13th. So just before the Johnny Appleseed. So, you know,
awesome.
The 16th is actually when people go to vote. So yeah, everybody's, I got a great team behind me. I've already had a woman walk. You know, we have these, if I can turn the camera, we have what we put together, these walk books, okay? And these walk books basically have neighborhoods all in this whole district of 6,000 people. We know everybody who voted in the last election that was a Republican, okay?
Awesome.
So they're going to walk around, and we made up these little tags, you know, so they can hang around their neck. So no one's going to think they're getting sold solar panels or something.
Yeah.
You know, we made up door knockers, and we got yard signs, and we got everything out, you know, that a campaign needs, you know, and gosh, I never thought, you know, what it takes to run a campaign. I mean, it's crazy, you know, but you got to do it, you know?
Oh, yeah. And this is what I want everyone to realize. We need more eds. That's what we need. We need everyone watching this right now. If you can't or are not willing to run for an election yourself, you need to actually figure out who in your local area, who represents your views, and help them.
Absolutely.
And that's also why I wanted to have you on, because I actually sent you the legal amount I could send you. It was like, okay, you can only send $1,000. And I'm like, well, shit. Okay, well, I'll send them $1,000.
And if you recall, and I don't mean to interrupt you, if you recall, you remember I told you, you said, I'll help you and don't worry about it. And I'm like, you know what, Ben? I don't think that's a good idea. I think I got to put my own money in this because we don't want people saying, oh, yeah, you're paid, right? However, doing it the legal way like we did, we set it up through Anadot, and that's all through election campaign finance, you know, got a bank account because on the 8th, it's either the 6th or the 8th, I have to submit to the IRS every donation that comes in. This is nothing to mess around with, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to say that, and I know I interrupted you and I didn't mean that, but I mean, yes, we're still in need of funds. Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good, Ed. You're good. Everyone watching, there is a QR code right up here on the right. I think it's the right hand side up here. And if you can help us out, whatever you can help us out with, because what I'm actually going to do is I'm using this as an example of, hey guys, if you run for office in your local area, I'll have you on our show. And this is what I want, is ramping it up and getting like-minded people who are involved in freedom and cryptos elected to local offices, because that's where the real power is.
Oh, no question.
Yeah, and it's so, if you can, and please do, guys, please, if we want our country back, we need this example so I can show others who are willing to run for office. I can show them, hey, we can help you. In fact, just yesterday, I worked out a deal with a lobbyist up in Washington, D.C., where I hired him. I've hired a lobbyist up in Washington, D.C. to help advance what's going on in Washington, D.C., and here in Florida, and up in Massachusetts, because they are a nationwide company. So they help us in Florida. They help us wherever we need help. They send their people. They help write legislation with whoever we're working with. And that's how we get our country back. And I don't mind paying for it, because this is how I view it. You and we help Ed get elected, and you and I help blah, blah, blah get elected. We are putting our money into the future of American liberty. We are, right now, we're slaves. We are literally trying to buy our way out of slavery.
True story.
And so everyone, please. And there's a link under the show that has that exact same link as our QR code. So please, if you can, help Ed out, which helps you guys out, which helps out America. We're in a war. Look what is actually going on up in Washington, D.C. That's a war. That's a war. Look what they're doing with Ed here. They are using war tactics against Ed. It's like, oh, he's this and he's that. And anyone who knows Ed is like, no, Ed loves his town, loves all of the people in his town, and he'll actually make choices that will help the Americans in his town. And that's what we need, is more and more Eds. So if you can, and please do, guys, this is so important, because I'm going to use Ed's campaign as an example for others who I help. And I actually want to help you guys. If you're watching and you're like, you know what, I could run for town council, reach out. Because if you're legitimate and you're a freedom lover and you have a lot of friends in your town who will help you get elected, I will absolutely help you. I'll have you on our show. I'll even donate to you. You know, it's everyone who knows me. I ain't in it for the money, guys. Fuck that. I'm in it for the freedom. the liberty. I want America back. That's what I want. And Ed, oh, go ahead.
No, please go ahead and finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And Ed is my test case. So I can show people, look, we are in it for the liberty, and we need to go local. If you look at George Soros, what he did was he actually put a shit ton of money into small local elections. Why? Because he realizes the smaller elections, town council or whatever, those smaller ones, those are the ones that really matter because those are the local control. George Soros has almost ruined our country because we were asleep and he went local. I want to reverse that. I want 1,000 Eds all over this country where they love God, they love freedom, they love liberty, and they're willing to fight. Ed, you are my man, brother.
Thank you so much. Really, Ben, that's heartwarming. What I really want to tell the other potential Eds out there that understand that once your town finds out that you're interested or you have a friend that is interested in passionate like you are, but you just can't seem to be in front of people because that's hard for a lot of people, right? The outpouring of the circle of people that are going to surround you and mold you and guide you is phenomenal. We have a meeting here in the club every Wednesday at 5:30, and it's I have all these women coming in, God-loving women who've been in the politics for a long time, running campaigns. They didn't know me from nobody, and they're working their asses off in guiding me and telling me, the issues that have been happening, and they're getting me up to speed. It's amazing, the outpouring. It really is. So
yeah.
So don't worry about if you don't know anything. You're gonna find out real quick. They're gonna guide you. So don't let that be, the reason that you're not gonna do what you would like to do.
Yeah, it's we have to realize how important this is because we have all of the tools. We have our Constitution. We have the new currency, which of course is Bitcoin. We have all of the weapons we need. Now we just need the warriors that will bring the weapons to the fight. And that's exactly what you are actually doing. Because as soon as you're elected, what we have now is we have a local person going to the meetings, planning events, and explaining, okay, guys, we have a new weapon. It's called Bitcoin. Let's see how we can help our local community, local entrepreneurs learn how to accept and save using this new system. And what that means is Ed could set up a program every week or every other week or however. Hey, every entrepreneur, every lawn mowing company, every auto shop, everything, he will have an event once a week and explain, hey guys, show up at the club and I'll show you how your company can accept the Bitcoin and you save money in an appreciating asset. And this is how we grow, is we have a local person like Ed lead the local government and explaining the new system. Because once Ed red pills and orange pills, everyone, all of the entrepreneurs, all the business owners, then it sinks into the local community. This is how Ed saves Leominster.
Yesterday I was going into a little store I go into every day, owned by the mayor, and his girlfriend. And before I walked in, Dean's outside, the mayor, and he introduced me to a gentleman, and I won't say the gentleman's name, but he's one of the richest men in town. He's hundreds of millions of dollars. He owns most of Turtle Island down in Sarasota. Okay. So that's the kind of money this guy has. And but anyway, so it's the exposure that, once you're in even though it's not a huge position, but when if I get to win the primary and get to win the ballot in November, if I'm on this city council, it does come with a little bit of clout, because now you're making decisions based on the whole city of almost 60,000 people, or what direction that they might be wanting to go. So that is going to allow these little seeds to be dropped and planted and to see what kind of maturity they get out of them. Because as Bitcoin is kind of like this slow moving machine that does not stop. It just keeps going, and it will go, for almost ever, right? Way beyond where we could be. I'm 65 years old, right?
Yeah.
So, to think that, I'm out here still fighting with my voice as the weapon. I love it. I'm out here pumping out push-ups and dips almost daily. Ask Maddie, he'll tell you. It's just like, I got this vigor to just make it happen. And of course, I want this club to happen too, right? But I mean, I just, people just step up, man. Just step up and make it happen. Don't sit back.
Yep. That is one of the very original, when you and I had initially met. That's what I recognized in you, is I don't just want to listen to you. And I want to get involved. I want to help push what this is. I see the freedom. I see the opportunity. I see where this is going. And you literally said, I'm in. I'm all in. Let's roll. Mm-hmm. And that's why when we launched our club up there, as soon as you said, I want a club up here, I said, yep, let's roll. Because I have no idea. I had never actually been up to even Massachusetts. But what I did know was Ed. And I'm like, this guy's a doer. This guy's going to hustle. He's going to work hard. He is going to kick ass at whatever he does. And so when I launched that club, everything was because of you. I wasn't going to run it. And that shows how much I, number one, love you, and trust you and I see how strong of a person you are, as in, like, nope, we are going to change shit. And Ed, everyone watching right now, help us elect Ed. All right. It's really it's that simple, because once I can show that we can help little local guys, this will snowball. Like I told you, I recently hired a lobbyist up in Washington, D.C. They are going to help us nationwide with local legislation like Ed, and we are going to change the world, at least America. And that's our obligation. The reason we're at where we're at right now is a lot of good people said nothing, and they did nothing. And they just lived their lives. Now, that's a government thing. That's got nothing to do with me. Well, guess what? That's a cancer. You let the cancer grow, and eventually it's going to kill you. And that's what government is. Local is the same thing, because usually Ed, he isn't a government guy. He's an entrepreneur. He was like, government, hell with that. I want to build shit. But he's reached the point, and he's seen his local area, and he's like, somebody's got to do something. And Ed is like me. Somebody's got to do something. Well, damn it, I'm somebody. And that's what you're doing, Ed. And that's why I want to help you. And everyone watching, please, whatever you got, I don't care if you got like, hell, I don't like 10 or 15 or 20 bucks. Shoot it, help Ed out, and let's win this election up in this beautiful little town up in Massachusetts, and use it as an example. Like I said, recently hired a lobbying firm. This is my use case. This is my example for bigger things in the future. And I need your guys' help. This is a vote for the future of your children, because this example of what Ed is actually doing, this is the example I'm going to use here in Florida. I'm going to use in Las Vegas. I'm going to use up in St. Louis. I'm going to use it everywhere we have a club or have representation or have a person who's just willing to take off their hat and throw it in.
Amen. Amen. You know, and to go back to your point earlier, I was that guy 20 years ago who did not get involved in politics. I didn't care. And that's where the mistake was. I didn't care. You know, I thought it was someone else's problem. But when you start having your kids, or my son, when you start having grandkids and you're holding those little babies, and then you're watching those little babies grow up, like one's 16 now, one's 14, or 16 and a half, 14 and a half. When you start seeing them start to blossom, it's a wake-up call, man. And
yes, it is.
Because I could be 4 years to dirt, right?
Yeah.
I just lost my dad. I just lost my brother within 10 days of each other. And I got another brother right now that might not make it either. So, and that's a whole other story about talking about, you know, the little pump that everybody was almost forced to get, or was forced, mandated, whatever, right? So those are other issues that maybe other people who have, maybe MD or something at the end of their, name, they should get involved too. So there's a lot of issues out there that us people, and I say us people because, we're a different breed, man. We're right now, what is it? 1 to 2% of the world only owns Bitcoin, or maybe it's a little higher here in the United States, but to the world, we're the we're like the Woodstock, man, back in the 60s.
Yeah.
New Hampshire, right? We're just trying to make it happen, and we know what's right. We know what is true, just like Bitcoin, right? It's permissionless. It has accountability. It's once it's locked on that chain, it's locked, right? So why don't we become one of those blocks, right? And change every 10 minutes and get added, right? And then then nobody can mess with us because we're on that chain. So now we're fighters. We're definitely warriors, right? And even if we lose our keys, we're still going to be up there, right? So, I mean, gosh, there's so much to do. There's so much to do. And it's
Absolutely.
the little towns that it's the little towns they start with. They start at the little towns and they spread out like a cancer. And that's we need to show them that you can stop the spread.
Absolutely. All right, Ed, I'm going to let you go. And everyone, please, there is a QR code right up here. Help Ed out and help us out. Because like I said, I'm using Ed's election as an example for future elections now that I've hired this Washington, D.C. lobbyist firm. And this is actually part of our overall plan. Not only do we take over the money, we actually take over the country, and we bring freedom, liberty, and honor back into our country. So please help Ed out and help me set an example that I can show other people and go, look, we helped actually get Ed elected up in Massachusetts. And I'll have this example. Hey, we actually did a show. We raised him some money. He won. Voila. And that's how we take America back. Because I have future plans for other people in our organization. I'm talking to you, Todd, who I want to work on getting them more into local government. Because this is how we do it. You want your country back, we need more Eds. And in order to actually get more Eds, we have to get Ed elected. So let's work our asses off, guys. Whatever you can do will help. Please, at least 100, if you can do it, whatever you can, help us out, guys, because I need an example of we can do this. We, the American people, can do this. We don't need the government's help. We need to actually get people in place like Ed that's going to rein in the government. Because I guarantee Ed is going to propose private sector solutions in Leominster. And so help us out. Hey, Ed, if anyone wants to send you an email, where can they send you an email?
They can send it to Albert, E Albert, B as in boy, M as in Mary at gmail.com.
There we go. Thank you so much, Ed. Everyone, help us out if you can. There's we have our QR code right up here, and there's a link under the show right there. Help Ed out and help us out and help yourself out. Ed, I love you, brother. I will see you in a few weeks because I'm going to be up there. We are going to have meetups. We have the Johnny Appleseed Festival, which I love. God, you guys have such good food up there.
And I hopefully at that time on the 20th, we already know that I've made it to the next round.
Awesome. I can't wait, brother. I can't wait. All right, brother, I love you, and I will see you later. Everyone have a great, wonderful day, and help out my friend and partner up in Massachusetts, Ed Albert.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem, brother. I love you like a brother.
I know.
Although I will say, I think I'm slightly more handsome than you.
Yeah,
just
I
a
know.
bit.
I'm catching up. I got a few sprouts still. Yeah.
Love you, Eddie.
Love you too, man. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.